AITA for being visibly shocked/dumbfounded that my GF, 21 American, could not point out Florida on a map while sitting next to my girlfriend on a plane. I was bored as fuck and looking at the maps that are found in the back of the airline magazines. A conversation led to her revealing that she did not know where Florida was on the map. Keep in mind she had graduated a private high school and is currently going into her senior year of college. Conversation progressed further into me finding out she could not point out Australia either. I was visibly astonished at this revelation and essentially said, "Are you kidding?" She immediately got defensive, calling me an asshole for making her feel stupid. I do feel bad for making her feel stupid, although I feel as if my reaction to her not being educated on such elementary shit was warranted and may even be a wake-up call for her to learn some basic geography. AITA. AITA for laughing my ass off at my wife's expense. Just for context, I am 6 feet 2 inches and my wife is 4 feet 11 inches. She is insecure about her height, and while I try my best to tell her that she is stupendously beautiful the way she is, she got bullied about it pretty bad, and it's just an aspect she doesn't like about herself. With this in mind, we recently went to one of my favorite places to eat. Now this restaurant has a really large counter and my wife is petite, so the cashier couldn't really see her. We ordered our food and were heading out when the cashier held out a giant piece of candy and said, "For your lovely daughter," to me. I honestly couldn't help but burst out laughing to the point that I had tears in my eyes, and I had to compose myself before driving back home. My wife was obviously pretty pissed. AITA for not letting my roommate wear something she stole from me last night. My roommate was about to leave for some fancy dinner she was attending at her boyfriend's parents' house, and I noticed she was wearing my dress. I asked her if it was mine and she said yes. I asked her if she had gone into my room while I wasn't there and taken it, and she sheepishly said yes. Just to be clear, we don't have that kind of relationship. We're friendly but not friends, so this felt like a huge violation. I told her to take it off and find something else to wear. She began crying and said she had nothing else to wear that would work for the event. I said too bad, if she had asked me first it would have been a totally different story. I'm not cool with her just taking my things without permission. She ended up having a temper tantrum and not going. Her boyfriend texted me later on and said I was an asshole. AITA here. AITA for not punishing my child after he corrected the teacher. My 10-year-old son had to watch some Snoopy cartoon in class during which Woodstock eats a roast turkey. The teacher told the class that this is fictional and that birds don't eat other birds. My son corrected her and said something along the lines of, "My uncle trains falcons to hunt other birds at the airport to protect the airplanes." The teacher got upset, said he was disrespectful and talking back, and sent him to the principal's office. I got called and they explained HT's situation, that he corrected the teacher. I said, "Well, was he right?" And the principal said, "It doesn't matter, this was rude and you need to teach your son show some respect to authority." And I told the principal, "I'm not going to punish my son or make him apologize if he was right. Maybe your teacher should be better educated." The principal looked a bit shocked and just told me to leave. Fine by me, really reconsidering this school. AITA for not saying anything about the underwear. My 20-year-old daughter and her fiancé are currently staying with us. I love my daughter, but she is very difficult and I can't stand her fiancé. I gave them a deadline to move out because I can't take this anymore. They got into a massive fight the other day while my wife was out. I guess a pair of my wife's underwear got in with their laundry and she thought he was cheating. I think the fact she immediately jumped to cheating shows how bad their relationship is. She was waving the underwear around and I recognized them because they had a floral print, but I just let this ridiculous fight go on. My wife came home after about 30 minutes and said they were hers. My wife asked if I didn't realize they were hers and I accidentally laughed. My daughter burst into tears and won't talk to me. Her fiancé said we're fucked and left the house, but my wife thought it was funny. AITA for not telling my parents how to read my diary. I am 15F and I have diary, and to prevent my older sister from reading it I created a new alphabet, and to make it even harder to decode, it's not just the Latin alphabet that looks differently. I made some sounds like U, Y, SH etc. as one letter like they are in Cyrillic alphabet, Russian, Bulgarian, Kazakh etc. use. Well, my parents were snooping in my room and found my diary and are demanding I tell them how to decode it so they can read it. They are saying that I need to share this with them and I can't have secrets from them and am under their roof. I eventually got sick of it and told them to fuck off. They sent me to my room and I'm here. They keep trying to decode my diary, which I doubt they will, but fuck, this sucks. Edit: I'm making this post, hopefully this can knock some sense into my parents. AITA for not waking up my roommate early enough for dinner, so I'm studying abroad and on a trip last night. Bus from our hostel was leaving at 8 o'clock p.m., which she was very aware of, and she was still asleep at 7:55. We woke her up and asked if she was coming, and she said no. We then get a text about 30 minutes later saying, next time there's a situation like this, I would appreciate if you didn't wake me up 5 minutes before we are supposed to leave. Keep in mind we all had just woken up from our nap as well at the same time as her, all wearing jeans with no makeup, just going for a casual dinner after a long day of exploring. Then today we overheard her telling other students that we are the asshole. She is an adult and should have better time management, right? AITA for not wanting my son to literally be named John Doe, so my last name is Doe. It hasn't affected my life much apart from occasionally being called Dodo while growing up or friends spelling it Doe as a joke, and I'm generally pretty neutral about it. My wife is 6 months pregnant and wants to name our future son after her grandfather who died of cancer in September. His name was John. I liked her grandfather and I know he and my wife were very close, but I won't even consider it, not even for our son's middle name. I feel that's just setting him up a world of problems, especially when he grows up and has to apply for jobs. Nobody's going to believe John Doe is his real name. My wife thinks I'm being an asshole for vetoing a name with a strong family connection and says I'm exaggerating the issues he would face. AITA for refusing to let my parents empty out retirement to buy my sibling a house. My younger brother has always been financially irresponsible and living above his means. Now that he is married, he wants to live in the nicest town with the best schools. My dad works so hard to have a nice retirement, they are suggesting liquidating his 403(b) and all stocks to buy this house in cash for my brother so he doesn't suffer and have to pay interest on a mortgage. My husband makes good money and we have a mortgage. I even suggested they gift my brother $500K and let him have a mortgage for the rest, but they think it's too expensive for him. AITA for feeling it's unfair. AITA for telling my friend she can't bring her dog to my house anymore. I 20F love animals, but my friend 21F always brings her dog over when she visits and it's starting to become a problem. Her dog is pretty big and doesn't listen well. It jumps on my furniture, sheds everywhere, and one time even knocked over a vase. I've tried subtly asking her to keep the dog under control, but nothing changes. Last week I finally told her that I'd prefer if she didn't bring the dog next time because it's stressful for me to clean up after it and keep my things safe. She got really offended and told me I was being unreasonable since the dog is like family to her. Now things are awkward and I'm wondering if I was too harsh. AITA for telling my friend she can't bring her dog over anymore.